Go. Hello, everyone. Everyone
Hello.
say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, it's 2024.
Hey.
Oh yeah, welcome to the new year.
Yeah, it's fucking the new year, man. We're not fucking the year. Are we fucking the new year? We're fucking the new year
We
tonight.
can fuck in the new year.
We're fucking in the new year.
Yeah.
Hi.
Big time.
This is DreadLore Theater of the Mind. Today, on the 1st of the 1st, we're gonna play it was corny. Whatever. We're gonna play a one-shot. We're actually gonna continue a one-shots into space. Our near future dystopian space marine fascist game. You know, it's maybe the best thing to play on the 1st of the 1st of 2024. Whatever, subliminal messages. We wanted to tell you guys who we are. So this is the game. It's called Into Space. The system is DreadLore. You can check out what DreadLore is if you go to DreadLore, that's LORE.com. And everything is there painstakingly made in the web pages stuff. I want to briefly introduce the cast. Who's on? We're going to start with the normal cast, and we're going to go to the guest stars. So first, Holker, would you like to introduce yourself and your character?
Yes, my name is Daniel, and for this game I play a Private Burgess who found himself out in the far reaches of space due to no luck of his own, and is a former medic. Although most people are not really sure how he passed the test or who passed it for him.
Drizzle.
I'm Drizzle. I play Private Skip Trace. He was hired, but questioned things and got knocked down, and now he just follows orders and tries to make sure everybody stays alive.
Ken, you want to do you?
I am playing a character called Nord Zetterberg. Nord is not.
No, you're not. A hard-boiled detective.
It's a hard-boiled detective.
Detective. I'm gonna look at the character sheet. It's funny because Dolby is apparently and Nord are both the same character, but I'm playing a character called Dolby Newman. He's a first lieutenant, 2nd grade, with some Sec 3 clearance. He's got a short temper, and if he thinks you're lying to you, he might just kill you. Because that's what he does. With his laser sword. Good morning.
Yeah. Good
Happy
morning.
2024. Yeah.
It's not working. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Hey.
Jazzy, one of our guest stars, a recurring guest star, is JazziCabbage.
Hola, I am the Cabbage de Jazzy. I play Sergeant Cherokee Sue, a bit of a wild card. Just again, giant square peg you throw at a round hole till it fits. You don't want to know how it got solved. You just want it done. You send Cherokee Sue.
Who's the dog?
Which one?
The one behind you.
That one is Socks.
This is Socks.
He is the eldest and crotchetiest of all the clan.
I see.
Little Billy Goat.
And who's sitting next to and helping with the tech?
Oh yes, as we scroll over.
Scroll.
Yes. Pan, scroll,
I'm back.
Strafe.
Crab walk.
Max, thanks so much. Our other guest star, new to playing DreadLore, was part of the original Kickstarter, Sixth House Mages, which means he dropped a bunch of money to make DreadLore happen, and actually paid for a game, which means he's kind of getting all the games as many times as he wants. Archangel, would you like to describe and introduce yourself?
Why, hello. I'm the interdimensional and somewhat enigmatic Archangel. Just happening by here. And we'll see what happens.
Strolling in. Indeed. You guys have some NPCs with you. It's been, what, October since we last played this, so it's been a little bit. One is Alfred. It's a all capital initialization. It's the ship's robotic intelligence, which is definitely not an artificial intelligence. Definitely not. Because those don't exist. And if they did, we would make sure that they don't anymore. You had a few other people. Who else do you have on your ship? On the Burning Sensations ship. What was your ship called again? Four Burning Sensations. Lord.
No, it's the Cool Mint is the name of the
the
ship.
Cool Mint, right.
We had
Cool Mint.
we had Josh, the engineer.
Yep.
Uh,
Josh
No.
engineering.
yeah.
Yeah, Josh.
We had Alice Brick.
Alice Brick.
Alice. Who
And Dol-
Dolby has, made a little bit uneasy. She's
Oh,
quite young.
She loves Dolby.
She's a
The
former
pile-
dissident who is given a second chance, a last chance, if you will. Go on.
The pilot is Josh. The engineer is
Yeah,
Dole engineering.
The pilot's Josh Sturgeon. The engineer is Dole Engineering.
Yeah.
Here's Dole Engineering. And and then it's, does anybody know Brick's first name, or did we already say that?
Alice Brick.
Oh yeah, it is Alice Brick. That's correct.
We had Dustone.
You had
Yeah.
Dustone.
Yeah.
No.
What happened to Dustone?
She got her head cut off by suspicion of doubt. She lied, and she got what she deserved.
Yeah, Dustone is KIA for sure. Her head flew out the window. Last game you also picked up a straggler, which would be Andrea's character. Does anyone remember what her name was?
Yeah.
Katrina Telmus.
Katrina Telmus. Telmus. And if you remember Telmus, the surname, it's a big Martian surname back when there was a Mars and Prime war. For players and audience, Prime is the name of Earth, but no one calls it that anymore. They call it Prime. And you can call it Earth if you want, but then you're kind of you're the bourgeoisie.
You're making wind and fire jealous.
Yeah, that's right. What about Heart, man?
I was going with disco, but I guess we could go Captain Planet.
We're going to go Captain Planet on this.
It's hard
Heart.
to choose disco over cartoons, I tell you.
Yeah. All right. So, last we left you all. Let me turn this off really fast. Oh, wait. I have to do the rest of everything. Right. Thanks to the music, be Mr. Interrupt and all lowercase letters. Thanks to Couchfire Media for doing all the switching and technology and artwork and such. Thanks to Trois Productions. We don't really know who they are, what they do. Who's our sponsor for tonight?
Tonight's sponsor is a band out of Winesburg, Ohio called Reverse Flush. This band consists of a drummer, 3 bassists, an acoustic guitarist, 2 managers, and the lead singer who speaks verses against the current political order over 11-minute songs. Their recent album, The Last Solo Cup on Earth, has propelled the band to new heights and landed them a regular gig on local public access television. They began a county-wide tour in February, hitting open mic gigs, churches that don't know any better, and basement house parties. They want you to know that they have never been a part of the Weinsberg LARPs that have advertised on this channel before, and those people did not cancel their sessions to see Reverse Flush perform at a field party. Therefore, they are bad. If you haven't heard the music of Reverse Flush yet, don't turn off the stream. Keep watching us play DreadLore. The end is truly nigh.
Thank you, Reverse Flush, for everything you've done for us. God Almighty. Right, the last we left you guys, you were still on your mission. Your mission to a place called Novus Prime. It's an off the beaten path in space colony. Has been heard from in around 10-ish years or so. You had found out that it's a mining colony, and there was this question of why has no one been talking about it, because they seem to mine minerals and such that the SSA, which is the evil, very, very good government that runs everything these days, that they could use. So perhaps there's a conspiracy, perhaps there's not. There's definitely a conspiracy. You guys found your way onto your new ship. It's a gunship called, you named, the Cool Mint, under the command of First Lieutenant Dolby Newman, Ken's character. And you set off, getting into cryosleep, on the journey that will take you 10 years to make. The ship RI, Alfred, is rather... He tries to be agreeable, but kind of misses the mark. Wakes you up in the middle of the journey, and kind of all hell breaks loose. Why? Because Dolby has a suspicion about one of the people that's with you. The recently deceased Sergeant Duststone. Dolby believes that she's somehow in line with these, we'll call them terrorists, known as the Clad. Or at least she's somehow involved with them. And he cuts her in half with a laser sword for her crimes. Obviously, this is unsettling. You all as a group kind of sort of figure it out. Names. Sue, Cherokee Sue, and Dolby. These are long-time friends, acquaintances. Since right?
I think they worked together many times. They had a palling relationship. Certainly, are more than just acquaintances. We did,
but your relationship was strained, and you guys basically hug it out. You figure out who's in charge, who's not, and it was a whole session. You guys can watch it if you want to watch it again. You jump back into cryosleep. You jump back into cryosleep. The long and the short of it is this: no one is in good mental health on this voyage. The only people that kind of are keeping it straight are Skip Trace, who's always keeping it straight, and Alfred, who might be the insane RI. Burgess has questionable sanity. Alice Brick is obviously unsettled by what has happened, and who knows what Dolby's mindset is.
Burgess's baseline is not a straight line.
Before you get back into cryosleep, you find a freighter that has been hijacked by likely pirates. Half of the hull is blown out. You guys go in and investigate, and you find another character who's not here, Katrina Telemus, which is Andrea's character, will be an NPC. You find her. She's a smuggler, and she's in a cryo bed that ostensibly was not able to be found or opened or whatever. The pirates had left. You rescue her, bring her back to the Cool Mint, and you guys get back into cryosleep and set off towards Novus Prime. A little bit about the mission. Actually, what do you all remember about the mission? The entire point you're on this journey. We'll start with Skip Trace.
We are supposed to go there because they have quit sending stuff. There was a coup, and some people took over, and they quit paying their dues, basically. And so we are supposed to go either get them to join and pay their dues, or something else.
Or something else, in quotes.
Yeah.
You're supposed to solve the problem. Now, your
Yep.
gunboat has a few tactical nukes on it. You had some intelligence about what Novus Prime, what the colony took with it, which we'll get to in a second. What else do you remember, Burgess, about the mission?
There's probably a saboteur on board among us, unless Sergeant Dustone was the saboteur, but there might be others.
That's right. When you guys had left the Sol system, you left Neptune Station, and there was an explosion. It was pretty clear that there was some sort of saboteur. Fingers were pointed at a few different people, but upon a little bit of investigation, you realized that there's some sort of cover-up. How big is the conspiracy? You don't really know. But you guys have a mission to go on, so Dolby decides, let's just get out of Dodge and get to Novus Prime. Dolby, speaking of Dolby, what else do you remember about the mission?
I remember the people were supposed to kind of they assassinated this guy, Alexander Bell. He was the former leader of this world. And apparently he was well liked. But the fascist rebels, Confucius and Moriarty.
It's Confuse us.
Yeah, Confucius, Moriarty, and Axel. The Axel resembling, but not being Axel Rose.
Correct.
Are the current leaders of this, I guess, this world that has separated from the SSA, and really, it doesn't matter how we just need to make them more agreeable with our way of being, and get that cobalt flowing again for battery.
Right. In fact, the planet is mining cobalt. Apparently, it's somehow rich in this stuff. Right. Do you remember anything about the compliment that the colony went with? Little
The compliment?
details. Yeah, as in like, what can you expect when you get there that you know of?
Well, we have very little information of exactly what's going on. The information we have is old. Maybe am I
25 years
thinking
old.
10 years old? Is that wrong?
It's pretty old. The colony was founded around 200 years ago.
Yeah. So there's 15. Well, there were 1,500 protesters. I don't know how many people.
18,000
15.
people on the
18,000 people
planet,
on the planet.
or
Okay.
or in the city.
Yeah,
the
but there were
colony.
1,500 protesters or dissidents, I believe. That could be wrong. I don't know where I got that number from, and maybe it's just not writing things down properly. Who knows?
Well, that's why we're doing this, because it's been
15,000.
2.5 months.
15,000 is what I have. And they have 2 warships that I couldn't get a straight answer. According to our pilot, he said that we could take out their warships if we needed to in Alfred, but
Right, they had 2 warships, so 2 capital ships or medium-sized capital ships, which is formidable, but they're also 200 years old.
yeah, and our ship is only 50 years old,
Right.
80 years old.
And you guys are on a little gun ship. So, these are the quote-unquote facts. You know that the colony is around 10 light years away, and at the speed that your quote-unquote gravity drive can take you, you're essentially moving whatever the light year is a little bit. It takes you about that long to get to a place, which is why you use the cryosleep. Okay, is that clear as mud to the guest stars and everything?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, fortunately I still have my notes from when you anyway, I'm good.
Good. Excellent. As you're in cryosleep, you dream weird dreams. To those of you that have done this plenty of times, which is literally all of you, somehow your brain copes with it. The stresses of it. Some people can't cope with it. They crack, they awaken, or they don't awaken. They awaken insane, raving mad about cardboard boxes. Who knows? Who knows what it is? But you guys somehow have hardened your senses, your constitution, and your brain to be able to deal with it. The violence and then subsequent drunkenness of your previous awakened period seeps into these dreams, causing them to be, we'll say, a tempest, perhaps not nightmares. You guys have seen a lot of crazy shit. I'm gonna have everyone who's in cryosleep presently, so that's all of you save for Archangel, make a sanity roll. So sanity roll is your mind. So it'll be your action die is a d10 and your mind aspect die. Roll them both. The threshold for this is 3. So you want 3 successes to hit limbo. You want more than that to get a clean success.
And make sure to put your D20 away because there's
put that
no
D20
D20s.
Throw that
in
away.
this.
Also,
This is
remember,
a-
this is a throwdown, so you can activate abilities. You can use your proficiencies to reroll. You can activate ninja gear if it applies to being in cryosleep. Because I know several of you sleep with your guns.
Whose cat
my
is it?
knife.
Can I use the cat?
You do have the cat. Yeah, Comfort Cat.
I'm
Say
gonna use
Comfort Cat.
Comfort Cat. in this
Comfort Cat
situation.
gives you a
Yeah.
d6 extra die.
Okay. All right.
Now I want to know what kind of fetish channel I might be on. When you say sleep with their guns,
Yeah, I'm gonna let
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys deal with that. Right?
I have a laser sword that I sleep with.
Whenever
It's- and my alcohol apparently.
Whenever I go into cryosleep, I make sure to have my knife with me because I've been in cryosleep many a times where I've been awoken out of it into a bad situation. So I always carry my
No.
knife into cryosleep with me.
What?
No.
Yeah, if we could sleep in full on armor, I think Dolby would.
Mm.
But I don't think that full on armor is allowed in cryosleep. You got to be
Probably
naked.
a bad move.
Naked.
Excuse me.
Can I use my period of life, which is rough?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I've been through this a lot. What kind of extra die would I get from that?
Oh, well, you're just bidding, so you'd be using it to to activate something, but we'll say since it makes sense, it'll lower the threshold by 1.
Oh, that's good. What is the threshold?
So
3.
Oh,
Trace.
So you said
Use a
Comfort Cat
proficiency
gave me
thing.
Comfort Cat gave me another D6, right?
Yep.
Okay, so it's still bad.
I got 2 successes, but I would
Alright.
like I would like to bid my fate.
Now, are you gonna bid your fate as just a trait, or are you bidding it as fate to get the extra mechanic of it?
To get the extra mechanic.
All right, so everyone has to agree because only one person can bid that a game.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, instead, I would like to just can I bid it to just get a reroll?
No.
Oh,
Technically, those
Damn.
traits, the only thing they do is they allow you to change the fiction, but this is a reaction, so you don't even need to bid them. You can
Oh.
use them to activate an ability, or because I allowed Dolby to do it, you can lower the threshold by 1 with it. That is a possibility. So do you want to do that?
yes.
All right, so you're at a limbo since you hit, you met the threshold. What the rest of you get?
I've got-
1 success.
Sexy.
Only 2.
Yes.
All right, so neither of you made the threshold. We'll deal with the people that did first. Dolby got a clean success, correct?
Nope.
Oh, you met it?
I
What'd you
didn't.
get? What'd you get?
I got 1 success plus the bid that I made.
All right, so you just missed it by 2.
I
So there
missed
are
it by 1.
degrees. There are degrees of success and failure.
Oh,
No
yeah.
problem. No problem.
And this is not a new scene, correct?
No, it's not. It is you.
Yeah, there you go.
No. All right. So the only person who met the threshold, got the limbo, the yes but situation, is the most insane person amongst you. Burgess, how is it that you're able to do this?
Because my fate is the fool. And seriously, it's like Burgess isn't seeing anything that could drive him insane because he, it just kind of flies over his head occasionally.
And we had established that one of Burgess's things with cryosleep is he has like an allergy to it. So every so often he wakes up, which may be why he's actually insane, because he's paralyzed physically in this cryo bed, sometimes for weeks on end, over and over and over.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things that it's like he doesn't know what's going on.
As Burgess, you happen to be awake. Alfred plays games with you, and like tic-tac-toe, and you've convinced him to maybe play something a little bit harder. Alfred does not believe that your human mind can understand more complicated games, but you've convinced him a little bit, as he's used the ship to actually put a cigarette in your mouth, and you're like sitting there smoking in your cryo bed, unable to move. As you notice across the way, this little hallway where you see the other cryo beds and the rest of your team, they're jerking and convulsing in their sleep from whatever horrors they're seeing. Like, you note it's probably been at this point 3 or 4 years since you were just awake. You've experienced maybe a month of time awake, but that's been long enough for Comfort Cat to have died and start decomposing on Cherokee Sue's chest. As Cherokee Sue, you see there's tears, but he's asleep. It's just his cryo bed is filled with this sort of green film. As Cherokee, this is why you have lost some sanity. You did not get the threshold by 2, So you'll get a flaw, and you mark a derangement. I'm going to let you decide what those are. As Burgess, you look over and see Dolby. His eyes are actually open. His forehead is pressed up against the glass of his cryo bed. He's drooling, but it's frozen. And he's white knuckling his laser sword. It looks like he's staring at you. Dolby, you lose or you gain a derangement, and you'll gain a flaw as well. Burgess, you notice that he's covered in blood. Perhaps he forgot in his haste to get back into the cryobed to wash himself off from the murder that he did.
And Burgess move?
No, you're paralyzed. Oh, it's good.
This is
But your
like
eyeballs
the most
can.
horrendous paralysis demon situation possible.
But your eyeballs can, as you slowly are able to, look lethargically, roll your eyes away from Dolby's castigating glower. As you move your eyes over to Skip Trace. Now, Skip, you only lost this by 1, so it wasn't a critical failure. So you will not gain a derangement, but you do gain a flaw. We'll say that. Why is it that it's only a flaw, and what about Skip Trace allowed him to only fail and not utterly fail?
He's well, I've
Or
already
critically
got
failed, I should
calloused as a because he's. I mean, he does. He is a cryo expert. He's been there. He's seen it. Yeah, this one caught him off guard maybe because he wasn't expecting it from Dolby, but war's war, even in a small group like this.
Burgess, you see Skip Trace. His eyes are closed, but just a sliver of his eyelids are open. It looks like he's a little bit unsettled. He's not losing his mind, though, you can tell. As you realize why, it's because he left his blade just outside of the cryobed. And he's somehow staring at it longingly for years. Burgess, you can't see Alice Brick. She's in the cryobed next to you. So you have no idea what's going on. As you all wake up, the cryobed runs through the cycles. You slowly awaken. It's incredibly cold. Your body's sick, etc., etc., etc. There's goo all over you, sometimes blood. This one seemed rough. We'll say you can't even remember what the nightmares were, but you can tell you're utterly fatigued. Dolby, the first thing you notice, perhaps, is the empty cryobed that's been damaged, the one that Duststone was in. Dark. The action's on you guys.
Don't be
Okay, so
shaky.
you have my brain headphone maxi.
He's ticking. Dolby reaches for his laser sword. First thing, starts tapping on it, scratching it, just rubbing his fingernail on it, just a little bit.
What you guys doing?
Are we there,
Throwing up.
Alfred?
You and through the wretches of Cherokee Sue, you hear Alfred come over the speaker. No. I
Woke us up
apologize, Lieutenant.
I feel like a little kid in the back of a car. Are we there yet? Alfred, are we there yet?
We are in the system. Perhaps
you parked-
1 month away.
Yeah, you parked far enough away. Good. Thanks.
At least we have enough time for an actual night's sleep.
Yeah, right. Anybody
I'll let y'all
dead?
retire.
Let's get a roll call. Everybody suit up.
I pop out and grab my knife and
You
head
do.
to the showers.
Yeah,
As you-
I get everybody to rock and roll, suit up.
As Skip, as you're walking to the shower, you walk by two cryo beds, one with Dole engineering in it, and one with Josh, the pilot. We need to do a fate roll on Dole to see if he is actually alive. So,
Okay.
who wants to be fortune? Who wants to be false fortune? We'll have Archangel roll one of these since it's his first time. Does one of you want to describe to Archangel what a fate roll is and how it's done while I go get bourbon? I'll be right back.
And
So a fate roll
I explain- Go ahead.
A fate
I was
roll
gonna-
is where two different people essentially roll D100s, and one person plays the role of fortune, and one person plays the role of false fortune. Generally, the person playing the role of fortune, if they score high enough, something good or at least not bad happens. If false fortune wins, generally something bad happens. And if we don't like the results, we can use up our proficiencies to re-roll and try and get the result that we want. However, if we all use up all of our proficiencies, that means we have nothing to use later in the game.
Man, that was really good timing on my part.
That was a really
So-
good description too.
We'll give
Good
you
job.
a narrative point for that.
Good job, Hooker.
Since you're done. Archangel, did all that make sense?
I think so.
Okay, so do you want to play, or do you want to do fortune, or do you want to do false fortune?
Can I ask a question?
You may.
About the plot. I know we spent a bit of time trying to talk our good buddy, whatever his name is, Josh, engineering down off his little suicidal
Yep.
tick, and I thought that Cherokee Sue and I may have done some countermeasures in order to, or some computer guy and Dolby did something in order to maybe mitigate. Any
Oh, yeah.
damage.
Yeah. So what had happened last game was you realized that Dole was mentally unstable. He was unsettled by. You weren't 100% sure exactly what it was, but he was somehow tied to the catastrophe that happened at Neptune Station, which, to remind you guys what it was, a capital ship, which was a transport ship. It had thousands of people returning from the proximal colonies to Seoul. Really big deal. Exploded. Just kaboom. This is something that is not unheard of, but it's very, very, very rare. Will definitely, Dolby found out will cause a political incident. And Dolby was essentially told by the station commander there's a chance that it was tied to the Clad, this terrorist group. So somehow Dole was attached to that. Perhaps it's coincidence, perhaps not. There was more to it, but you guys didn't really dig into it and find out exactly what it was.
We dug a little bit.
You dug a little bit.
He said he was cheating on his boyfriend,
Yeah, which was Josh.
Josh.
Mm.
So
The main thing was
mean,
Dole had gone over
Yeah.
to that ship, and then moments after he returned, it blew up.
yeah.
So-
but he did he did do a good job of explaining that he was not a part of it.
Correct. But it was this idea of guilt. So you guys pretty much talked to him.
He's guilty because he cheated.
Sue figured out that the way that Dole was going to potentially off himself was he sabotaged his own cryobed, which oddly enough, perhaps not ironically, the saboteur that you guys were talking about that Dolby thought was Duststone had done the same thing to your guys' cryobeds, but you caught it. Or I should say Dole caught it. Dolby had found out that this has been something that has happened here and there on ships all over the quadrant. And in fact, on one of your guys' former missions, it happened to you as well. One of the sergeants had died that way.
And you accused me, you fucker.
No, we
Mhm.
accused the
The first time. Not this
agent.
last time, but the time before that.
No.
I haven't been
And I
here for
thought
2
you
years,
figured that out.
remember?
We accused the magistrate.
So you were able to pretty much talk Dole down from offing himself. This is all true. Right. So fate roll.
Although, so who's going fate and who's going?
Yeah. So Archangel, do you want to fortune or false fortune? Basically, do you want to be good or do you want to be bad? Be bad.
Sure,
I'll
I'll
do
be
whatever he
bad.
doesn't.
All right. So your false fortune. So the way this works, you roll a D100, and Jazzy will roll it as well. And whoever gets the highest, that's the one that wins. Anyone can spend a proficiency to have both of you roll again. Go you there forth.
Ooh, that's bad.
Uh-oh.
What is it?
False fortune roll 71.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I rolled a 10.
All right. So normally I say the stakes, but that's my bad. The stakes being this. As well, or are you guys going to re-roll? I'll tell you the stake first. As Skip, you walk by Dole's and Josh's cryobed. You notice Dole's doesn't seem to be on. His body is slumped over to the side. It's darkened. You can't tell if he's dead or not. Josh's is on low power. You can see that he was probably in his middle 20s when you guys left. Now, he's not old. It's only been like 8 years. But you can see he's actually aged a little bit. There's some crow's feet, a little bit of gray hairs. So those are the stakes. Do you guys want to re-roll? And it turns out it's a trick of the eye.
Does anybody have any proficiencies? I went big the last.
Yep.
I went big. I'm hurting on proficiencies.
Now, Archangel, you can also do that if you wish. You don't have to, but you are able.
I will use one.
All right. So both of you re-roll. We'll see what
Okay.
happens.
Ooh, all right. 70.
And I re-roll both dice, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So 42.
Ha!
Yeah.
As fortune wins. Skip, what are you doing as you walk
As
by
I-
and you see this?
As I walk by and I notice, I'm like, I'm gonna look at him and go, something's wrong. I go over and just knock the side of it, like an old TV.
As
Turns
you knock
back
the
on.
side, of Dole's, and it boom, turns on and opens up as he coughs and such. Josh's lights on too, and you see him opening his eyes, and they are coming out of cryo sleep. All right, actions on all you.
Darn beds. And then I head on to
Anybody
the
who's
shower.
not getting prepped and Dolby kind of shouts out loud while grasping with reality and tweaked out. Anybody who's not in front of me in uniform in the next 10 minutes is scrubbing the toilets and well the rest of the ship with my toothbrush.
Alice Brick
So I
is
show up fully with still throw up on me.
Alice Brick has gotten out. All of you are naked. She's cleaning herself up as she looks up and goes, You have a toothbrush, Lieutenant?" With a kind of a wry smile on her face as she hurries off into the back. An alarm goes off. It is a yellow light, which means not a warning light, or not an alert light, just a warning proximity. "Lieutenant," Alfred comes on the intercom. "Please come to the cockpit.
I am going
Imminent
to the-
collision."
I'm headed that way.
That's spicy.
I'm gonna look for the pilot.
Yeah, Josh
And
is coming. He's just
Josh.
coming out of cryosleep. He is
I'm
obviously
gonna
dazed and
grab
out of
him.
his mind.
I'm gonna grab him and lift him up and carry him up to the.
As you do, you help him up the stairs as he's obviously woozy, his eyes rolling in the back of his head. As you get to the cockpit, the lights stop. You hear a chortle from the speakers. "I just wanted to see how fast you would move.
Thank you, Alfred.
Wakey, wakey."
Eggs and bacon.
As you
All
look
right, well,
out, go on.
Go ahead. If I don't see anything and it's calmed down, I kind of brush Josh off a little bit.
Josh slumps into the seat, still groggy, obviously. Something has gone down. It's pretty obvious his cryo sleep did not go very well. Lieutenant, you look out the front of the ship and see, in fact, you're not about to run into something, but in the distance, maybe, well, it's space distance, so it's not too far off. Perhaps an inch. Like if you put your hand up, there's a ship out there that's like an inch big. So it's tens of miles away. A derelict ship. There are some lights that flicker here and there. There's some space debris that's floating around it. It looks like a gunship of sorts, just by the make. Not SSA military.
Ooh, looks like we got another one.
Well, let's fucking
Anybody?
party.
Why don't you scan this? Is Josh awake yet?
Josh is out of his mind.
I know Burgess has some medical experience. Burgess, get your ass up here.
Yes, sir.
Over the
What do you need?
I need you to help me get Josh into shape.
Oh,
I don't-
is he still
You gotta take him to
cryo
the-
dazed?
I don't feel
Yeah, he's
good.
cryodazed.
Lieutenant?
If you
Oh.
got to take him to the med bay, you know,
Oh.
do that. But we need.
Sir, we were taught we were taught a maneuver that we could do for cases like this that might speed the process up. Sir,
do it.
I slap him.
As what do you bid to wake him up with a slap?
I will bid. I'll bid soldier.
As Burgess, you bid soldier, and you twist the swivel chair, the pilot seat. Josh looks up at you with his baby blue eyes as you backhand him like a biatch. How hard do you hit him?
Not terribly hard. This is just to wake him up, right?
Are you in your military garb with like your gauntlet on and everything?
Now,
Or are you fucking sitting there with a swinging dick?
No, I was ordered to be dressed, so I'm dressed.
Oh yeah, you're dressed.
Wait,
In-
are you asking which appendage he's going to slap him with?
Not for me to decide.
No, it's just
That can't be
It-
protocol.
it's just an open hand slap to
brains.
kind of
Oh, an open hand slap. So
Yeah.
you clap him on the head. Whack. His seat spins around. He wakes up having been soldier. There is some jarring and of his senses. What's going on? What's going on? As Burgess, your handprint is on his face. He starts tapping at the console. Ding, 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 ding. The light of the HUD appears. The green lines
got a
and
ship
such.
in front of us.
Yes. It looks like a derelict. He looks up at you, Dolby, as you're standing over him. It's not one of ours, sir.
Okay.
Probably. I mean, it could be a lot of different things. As he kind of like calms himself and continues searching on the control panel.
All right. Well, just keep monitoring it. I'm gonna put some clothes on, and if it makes even a breath,
He looks down. You're completely naked.
If it even makes a breath of any kind of blip or beep or anything, let me know, or blast it out of the sky.
You see him flip on weapons armed as you see the little the gun meters, the charges.
And if
Is anyone on that ship, they'll know that we're charging weapons. Do we want shields too?
Yeah, no, get ready for it. Is the ship in any kind of
It looks
shape?
like it's in a roll as he searches, taps up to the
You
top.
said there's some debris around it?
Alfred, can you analyze the trajectory of that ship and extrapolate what may have happened? As you hear, sure. A few moments later, boop, 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 boop. Josh reads it out. It looks like some sort of explosion from the inside. There's still power. It might be able to be flown, but I think it's dead in the water.
Sure. Well, we'll take a closer look, but I'm gonna get changed first. And again, if it makes even the slightest, you hear even a peep off that thing.
You mean if someone tries to contact us?
Well, I mean, if they contact us, they contact us. But just be ready with your finger on the trigger. I mean, we're pretty far out. So
Do we want shields?
yeah, we want shields.
Chunk.
Anytime we
You see this blue light erupt
we
from
want
around you. All right.
Let's go for it. All right, everybody, be ready and dressed.
I just walk up
Battle
with pants
station.
for Dolby.
Thank you. I need those.
Out in the back, Skip Trace. What are you doing? Alice Brick meets you wherever you are.
I'm back in the our barracks, and I'm getting dressed. I started to hurry when Alfred said that about imminent collision, and then when he said he was joking, I'm like, "Good morning, Alfred."
Good morning, Skip Trace. And how was your sleep?
It's not the roughest one I've had, so pretty okay, I guess. And I just continue to get ready and get dressed. And go.
Alice comes in. Young, dark hair. She is from Luna City, I believe. Probably some kind of African descent, but being generations on Luna, with the sun the way it is and such, has this almost like purplish hue to her skin, or charcoal type color. As she starts getting dressed, she seems rather spry, rather perky. Maybe it's the wrong word. She gets dressed. She looks up at you. How are your dreams? I love cryosleep. She's
well,
putting her shirt on.
Once you've been through the stuff I've been, cryosleep's not as fun anymore.
She kind of pauses. Did you have the tremors then?
No, it's just sometimes you see the stuff that you wish to forget.
I just kind of think of it like a meditation. It's always been easy for me. I'm not really sure why.
Maybe one day you can teach me that. I've slept in very many cryo beds. I don't even know how old I technically would be now.
She jabs you in the ribs a little bit with her elbow. Slept in many cryobeds, have you?
Yeah.
And she continues dressing. Archangel. You there?
Yes.
One day.
What was the last thing that Archangel was doing before the shift happened? Welcome to being on the spot.
Most likely checking, basically measuring something. It's always measuring something.
You're measuring something, pouring this blue liquid into that red liquid. We'll say into that orange liquid. Time of day was it?
I'm pretty nocturnal, so most likely.
So it's nocturnal. You were in this laboratory, maybe on the 3rd floor, a kind of theurgic inclined house. It'll have the water wheel on the side, with a little brook and such. Forest, a nice Craster style forest outside. I'm thinking like Dagobah in the forest. So like the birds that flap the wings that almost have like they're too mossy, and wah 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 going. Downstairs, you hear Mortimer going around doing his business. He never sleeps, Mortimer. Like literally never sleeps. Probably unhealthy. Perhaps it's something else. As all around you, this huge workshop. What are you working on?
Quantum theory.
As you have this newfangled device in front of you, it's this sort of black charcoal sheet that you can draw on it. It astounded Mortimer. You can use like different colored pencils, and he got into art. Maybe that's what he's doing downstairs. As these schematics and equations and all sorts of things are all around, pinned to the wall. You're mixing these two liquids together, blue into orange. Mortimer's been telling you about alchemy, this strange pseudoscience that just, it makes sense when you talk about it, but then when you think about it, it seems like poppycock. Things about pigments of color. It's how the science works. Everything is a pigment of color. That plant, well, what pigment is it? Why does this machine work? Well, what pigments are in confluence? And so you're perhaps experimenting with these things. As you pour, the elixirs together, and they turn sort of a muddy brown, black, something perhaps you expected. You write it down. What are you wearing? What do you look like?
I'm basically wearing my usual garb minus the headgear and the wings because I'm in my
describe
lab.
to them what that looks like.
Basically, it's a sort of a double-breasted leather jacket. Most of this looks more pedestrian than it is, so it looks like I'm wearing a jacket and slacks, but it's actually a sealed suit. So it does have protection from laboratory accidents and all this stuff, sort of designed so that he can deal with sort of switch environments rapidly between spillage, explosions, having to suddenly deal with changes in atmosphere,
For example.
but also be able to walk amongst regular people if need be without causing alarm because he's running around in a half-burnt lab coat. So it's sort of designed to be inconspicuous while still being functional.
You have this helmet on.
I'm not wearing the helmet.
You're not wearing the helmet. The helmet's nearby, or yeah, it'll be on the table. Do you have your wings on?
No.
The wings will be on a little armature off to the side. Your different sets and stuff. Perhaps you've been crashing at Mortimer's for a while. He doesn't mind. He's a very lonely kind of person with his bushy mustache. He's a little guy, Mortimer. Not that he's at all in this scene. He's around 4 feet tall, but built like a fireman. He seems to wear Crocs all the time. It's literally who Mortimer is.
Yeah.
And he has this massive mustache. At any rate, you're pouring these things. The liquid turns black. Perhaps you write down what happens. And there's a cool breeze from outside. It's becoming winter in Daloon, which is the continent you're on. And Archangel, you find yourself perhaps having sat down the elixir and walked over to the window to look out iconically, like a Rapunzel looking out the window at the stars and such that are there. You hear a slight tremor and then the ignition of chemicals as you turn and look and see what you have mixed is about to explode. What do you do? The action is on you.
Okay, so obviously a little bit of short-sightedness has caught me unawares, so I need to quickly grab my headgear and wings and get the fuck out of here.
What do you bid to do that so quickly? As you see the black goo start making the flask almost tremble and shake. Perhaps the first thought in Archangel's mind is, you didn't fuck up. Was there some contaminant? Is it a conspiracy? You don't know. What do you bet? 2 GTFO.
Let's see. I think I'm going to bid my let's see. I'll go with no degree.
Okay. That's the leaping off point for the description. So describe what Archangel does and how no degree implies.
Okay.
Or applies.
So he inherently understands sort of how he needs to exit this situation by sort of gaining a layout of the land where he placed everything so that he could easily grab it on his way out. He didn't necessarily anticipate this exact scenario, but one like it.
As you move 1-2 steps, ding ding, grabbing up the helmet in one motion, putting it on, sounds like Darth Vader, as it locks into place and pressurizes. In the same motion, you turning, spin, grab your wings, almost like a coat, put them on your back. The magnetic seal and clasps engage as you've got the spiral staircase that goes down. You've got the window, or what else can you do? The room is about to explode.
Okay. Give me what I see again.
You've got to your right, you've got the window where you had your reverie. You've got to your left the spiral staircase that goes down to the second floor and then the first floor where Mortimer is. You're in basically the attic, so it has the attic shaped, the A-frame. Is that right? A-frame style roof.
Yes.
There'll be like a chimney too, and like a little hearth, so you could be like Santa Claus if you want. Or you could blow a hole in the fucking wall and go through that.
I have a feeling that's about to get done for me anyway.
You could drink the potion instead. Who knows what'll happen? It's up to you.
Yeah, that sounds like me. I think I'll I think I will jump out the window and make a mental note that if there's anything surviving the explosion, I'm going to sift through it for Mortimer.
As you take a few hurried steps, leaping out the window, your wings engage. They make the sound, the displacement sound. Question, do you take anything else with you?
I grab my rifle.
Oh,
Since-
yeah, indeed. As you reach back, it's leaning against the door like a samurai. As you grab the rifle, leaping out, an explosion happens behind you.
Okay.
Propelled forward with the blast, the concussion of the blast. Your head sort of rocks in your helmet. And for a moment, as you toss end over end, there's the fuzziness in the eyes, the blackout as you're spinning so fast, the blood's moving and rushing through your head. You feel weightless, of course, which is not unheard of, when you're using your wings. But there's something different. There's something familiar, a rip, a slip in space, as perhaps the thought of shit occurs. You
This
feel
feels
yourself
familiar.
You feel yourself zipped up into a pocket, a space, a dimension that does not exist or it's not easily perceived. Boom! A rushing sound, then silence. You know there's speed, but everything is black all around. And then another explosion. As you come to your senses, you find yourself latched on like a horsefly to the rump of this large metal cylinder, which you quickly can realize is probably a ship of some sort. Looking around, you see stars everywhere.
Literally see stars, or I'm a little dazed.
Both.
Sorry, I had to say it.
That's good. You'll get a pip for it.
So, with my power, I was going to say, with the power invested by me, I'm giving you a pip, dog.
That's right. As you're sitting there, the action's on you. What do you do? We'll say your HUD reads out no atmosphere outside of your suit.
Am I able to read anything? Are there any markings, any language I can discern on the external?
What do you bid? What do you bid as you're sort of sitting here on this massive ship looking around?
Child of the world.
Child of the world immediately trying to look for markings. You do find markings. You do find them. Give me a second. That's a good bid. For that, you'll get a narrative point because it influences the story here. And this will be pretty good. You see in the language of Craster, they use Esperanto. As it turns out, they do here too, because it's the same thing. But it's okay. Roman letters that you can spell out say Rorigan. Having bid Child of the World, you realize it is the name of whatever ship, spaceship apparently, you have collided with. Looking at the ship, now having like a moment to actually digest the situation a little bit, you see there's this puncture wound or an explosion wound on it and debris that shot out from it. Where you are, there's an indentation. Bidding Child of the World, Archangel, you realize you just popped their ship. Take that. Choo choo.
So I breached their hull.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Apparently, you slamming into their hull popped the belly of the ship. Who did that? That was really funny. You get a pip. That's good. You notice, Archangel, looking up, another ship, far off, perhaps, who knows, it's fucking astrological, miles. We won't use miles. Within a medium distance. It's not very large of a ship. Maybe it can be here in a few minutes. Out ahead, as you see this weird field, it looks like shields appear around it as that ship is headed this way.
Would it not be clicks? Space clicks?
Light minutes.
Light minutes. That's good. Light minutes. What do you do? Actions on you.
Is the ship that I'm currently connected to, does it have any propulsion? Is it just stationary?
It's rolling with the explosion. And for sci-fi, well, actually, no, we'll do this. It's rolling clockwise on an axis. So the ship that you're looking at is going out of view as you're starting to rotate around. You can gather that the reason for this is some sort of stabilizers the ship automatically had, like why you're not like spinning like a top. You're not really sure.
Okay. So in other words, the only reason it's moving is because I hit it.
Yeah, it probably was moving.
Okay.
Yeah. Or perhaps it was quote unquote still. You don't know. Your HUD continues to read out just different life signs. Tells you your air supply. Roll your chaos die for your air supply.
Okay. Which die is that going to be?
I believe it's a D8 for you.
Okay.
I'm making like garage old fashions over here.
I got a 4.
So that's a success. As you see, it says nominal and a little infinity symbol. There's a moment of a flash in the HUD. It shows you the blue and red shift just in general. It kind of starts calculating your helmet starts calculating the year. Or at least how old the universe is, I should say. It's going to take some time.
Okay.
You can tell you're in a system. You're in a star system of some sort. Obviously, you don't know the name. There's a huge gas giants and several moons. It's a binary star system. And yeah, that's what you know right now.
Am I able to scan for life forms on this ship?
Sure, what do you bid?
Life forms.
Do-do-do-do.
Little baby life forms.
Oh my god, you get a pip. Good reference. But what movie is it from?
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not.
That is what is it? The first that was the first Star Trek Next Generation film.
Which one's it called?
Where they went back in time.
What's it called?
It's not Generations. It was after
That's
Generations.
the one after one.
Yeah. I don't know.
Star Trek 8. First.
Contact.
Boom. Well done. Good fucking reference.
Great.
All right, what are you
moment.
bidding?
Favorite data moment.
I think that I probably want, since I'm interacting with the device in my headgear, it would be mechanic, right?
Yeah, you can bid that as a trait. So it's not activating the ability. It's just bidding it as a trait. You still have the ability. You just don't have that trait anymore. It's exhausted.
Okay.
As you bid mechanic. Does anyone know that reference, by the way? Did you guys ever hear that? Developers. That's what it's from.
Yeah, by the
Anyway.
Microsoft guy.
Yeah, by the Microsoft guy. Anyway, look it up. As you do,
Mashugana.
Archangel, describe for us what you see as you operate this helmet and make this happen.
Okay, so it scans the length of the ship, and I should see some sort of vital signs of any living being, and their primary composition.
As you see, you see them light up.
spectroscopy.
You see 3 life forms erupt in your headset. They look because your helmet is currently aligned to Craster, it says Doina.
Okay.
As it sort of like the Matrix translates, doesn't really find a match, and then says human with a question mark.
Cool. My race is also listed as human, probably.
One of them, there's 2 question marks, as it says composition unknown.
Okay. I will. Is the breach that I made in the hull big enough for me to fit through?
Oh yeah, it's big enough to park a car through.
Okay, I will enter the ship.
As you ting crawl along on the cool mint. Back on the cool mint. As you guys are now dressed, what are you all doing? Actions on you.
I think I commanded everybody to get to their, emergency stations or to get ready.
What are you all doing? Actions on you.
Are they ready?
Well, I
Am
brought
I
you
ready?
just pants.
I was getting ready. I think I was getting ready. I'm probably going to take a swig of alcohol if I could find it, and then I'm going to put all my clothes on.
Describe to each other what you see and what you're doing.
Dolby is yelling, "Move it, move it, move it, move it."
Move it, move it, move it.
I will.
Kind of standing there next to him, like, where precisely do you want me to move?
Get your gear on. This could be an alien combatant. Not alien. This could be an enemy ship. There are no aliens.
An enemy ship. And then I run off to go get the rest of my gear.
Every time Alfred wakes us up, it's usually for some kind of violence. So expect ultra violence.
Burgess and Skip Trace, where are you guys? What are you doing?
I will have. I've finished getting ready, and I'll look at Alice and I'll be like, "I'm gonna head to the bridge. That's where he was going."
Well, I'm
That's
following you, sir.
Let's
She says.
hop to it.
You notice, Skip, that Alice follows you. She follows you around. And she also calls you sir.
So do I run into them going to get the rest of my shit?
Oh, yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, shit. Sorry.
I'm gonna pull suicide. And
Oh. Oh.
and we did a few things. I'm just gonna, like, in the chaos of moving everyone again. We did a few things. We downloaded an RI from another ship while you were out, and I was wondering if you could try and salvage some of its parts. I have a mission for it potentially, and I would like you to take a look at the schematics of salvaging this RI. But we ran across this ship, so Alfred, would you tell everybody?
Yes, I'm listening to you, Lieutenant.
I know. Would you tell everybody that there's an unknown ship of origin, and just make
Everyone,
sure that
there is an unknown ship.
that we
Ahead.
should be
You have an
prepared to
echo.
engage.
Albie.
I know. Thanks. But I would like you to take a look at this RI. Maybe use Alfred's help.
That RA is no longer functioning.
I know.
I have
It's no longer
consumed
functioning,
it.
but I know. But there are some core components that maybe
I
we
can tell you
use.
all you need to know.
Thank you, Alfred. You're so smart. Can you focus on this other ship, Alfred, and give the captain some information about it, please?
The captain is you.
I mean, not the captain, the pilot, the guy that's hitting the buttons.
You mean Josh and
Josh, tell Josh about it.
for
Tell
certain.
him about it for certainty. Thank
There
you.
seems to be okay. Dot. It literally says dot. Burgess, where the fuck are you?
Burgess
What are you
just slapped Josh. He's at the bridge.
Yeah, you're at the Josh. You're at the Josh. You're
He's
at the
at-
Josh.
You're at
His name's written on it. The Josh.
Where in the ship is the breach that I just went through?
It is in the midsection of the ship, and I'll describe it to you in a second. Well, I'll actually describe it right now. The back of the ship. So imagine the Corellian Corvette from the first or episode 4 Star Wars. That's kind of what the ship looks like. So you got the engines in the back, belly, and then command is in the front of the ship. It is a smaller vessel than a Corellian Corvette.
So it's rear warp drive.
Yeah, they don't. Well, Archangel doesn't know this, but they don't have warp. Depends on what you mean by warp, but we'll get to it. And we're gonna throw down goodness.
Okay, so Dalby, what specifically do you want for me to salvage? What are you looking for? You're sending
just
me
need-
on a
I want an additional RI backing us, maybe one that has no brain. I just need some core. We'll call it automation. We need some automation on our side. Maybe we could stick it in this other ship if there's no life forms, and have it
Essentially
be
to get the
a
black box out of
decoy
this
or
little ship.
some kind of thing that will help us,
Oh, you
not
want to
just
be able
have
to
this
boot
one
up the
ship.
other ship with this extra RI.
Yeah,
it's got-
no, if there's some
Okay.
components. I mean, I realized that most of it was lost to Alfred, but if there's something that is salvageable, maybe we can harness this other ship.
Okay, so I'll get into that with Alfred and let you know. So I scurry off again.
Thanks.
Burgess, what are you doing?
Burgess is standing at the door to the bridge, standing guard, and contemplating what's going on. And realizes that he must say something, and that is to like and subscribe to the stream, viewers. Please like and subscribe to all streams, including Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Now back to our regularly scheduled role playing. Yeah, Burgess is probably just going to stand guard at the door to the bridge until further notice.
All right.
If I see Burgess, I'm going to yell at him to help Josh. Maybe get him some clothes. and some coffee.
You don't. Just to put you guys in perspective, Dolby, you've gone back towards the cryobed, which is
Good.
cryobeds are in the center. That's where you have met Sue, who's moved past you towards the back of the ship where all the latrines and changing areas and all that good stuff are. Moving forward, you would see Alice Brick following Skip Trace
Oh, if I see Alice, I'm going to get the captain some coffee and some breakfast.
You see that, and Burgess is at the doorway to the cockpit. As Alice stops in her tracks, Skip Trace, you keep on going, or whatever you want to do. You want me to get him coffee?
Yeah, no, he's out of it. He needs to wake the fuck up.
He needs more than coffee, sir. As she turns
Well,
around
then,
and moves
whatever
to the,
you can do
to the bottom
Bump it up.
right. He needs a clap on the lips as she goes to the bottom right where the mess is. So I have a map of the ship. I don't know if you have it, Ken. Did I ever send? I know I sent it to you, actually. It's just been forever and ever and ever and ever. I could describe it, but honestly,
It's pointy.
think of it this way. The front of the ship is the cockpit. The middle is the cryo beds. The back is where you change and shit. The right is the mess. The left is storage. That's a basic idea.
Okay.
All right. You all are doing all of this. Skip, as you get to the cockpit, you pass Sue. Actions on you two.
Everything okay up there?
I'm gonna like do that thing that like that awkward interaction where you weren't prepared to talk to somebody, but they like said something. So now like I have to like
You have to turn around and
like so I didn't even hear what you said even.
everything okay up there?
What? Yeah. I kind of I'm a little bit one track minded right now. I gotta like piece things together. Can we do the pleasantries later, my friend?
As long as we're not under attack, I'm fine. And I'll head on.
Oh yeah, Alfred is just a dick. Anyway.
I don't like you saying that, Private Sue. I
First
was
of all,
going to stick up for you, but now I think I won't.
First of all, you know that was just a joke.
Gah. Yes, that was a joke. I was joking too.
Man, you're super good at this. So, catch us.
By
at
the way,
Comedy
we
Club
are
at 8
very, very
p.m.
close to. Excuse me, I am talking, Private Sue. So go on. I'm sorry. Alfred,
I'm
shut
sorry,
up.
Alfred. Wait. Wait. I'm
No, you go ahead.
What are we even talking
No,
about?
I was interrupting you.
Okay, so I'm gonna go do my thing. Just check in with Dolby, make sure Josh is alive. I'll be back with more fun later.
You see on the little screen next to you a little heart.
And I just kind of do this, sorry, to give him the little half heart.
The half heart.
Yeah,
You do.
yeah.
He's like, I wish I had hands. Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's amazing.
How do you have so many of these things? What is it? What is it about whatever you've done?
I haven't done
Dolby's a
anything. I
wizard.
think it's a Mac thing.
Does it do it?
I
when
have
do
a
it?
Mac. No,
Yeah, but
it
I
doesn't
think
work for
it's
anyone
like-
else.
I think it's my Mac thing.
Can you
my
have
Mac
a heart
is
for me so
better
that
than your
I'm
Mac.
Potentially.
It doesn't work for anyone else.
a hand
Yeah.
heart?
So
I mean, I can't
Sue.
do it.
are you going to Sue, are you going to guard this door, or what are you doing here?
So me and Alfred are trying to work together to salvage together something that we can use to access the RI of the damaged ship.
Okay, what do you bid?
So I'm going to use
The previous damaged ship, not the pirate ship.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
The thing, the brick that is floating in space right now.
Correct.
That-
That.
Is that not
Well,
what
no,
Dolby asked me to do?
I'm gonna
That's correct.
allow Cherokee Sue to
Okay.
to assume whatever he wants. Or
No,
they want, I should say.
I think they said I think Dolby was clear enough. I think Cherokee Sue got it. Like
Okay.
So
I
this-
didn't imagine that. I was like, I'm
this-
pretty sure you asked me to
This
piece together
current
something to access the RI.
yeah,
This
Of the
current
floating
derelict?
brick out in space.
this current derelict.
Oh, the current derelict. Oh, well, I was wrong. Yeah, in fact, you're right. Okay, great. What do you bid?
Okay. Well, now I've got to look at my sheet to figure out what I want to do. Okay. I'm going to use real truth because we're trying to get down to the nitty gritty. We want to know what's going on with this floating brick, and I feel like since me and Alfred have rapport, we kind of don't really pull. We keep it real, so I think that we can work together potentially to figure this out.
So what do you bid?
Real truth.
The real truth. How dangerous. As you bid the real truth, tooling about with Alfred in the schematics of this ship, the scans and such. Alfred is doing the grunt work, the base code that you don't need to do, and you're looking at the higher level code, the readouts and doing the calculations. As you're seeing, there was an explosion not too long ago. You're reading for, does the ship have an RI? Fate roll. Who wants to be fortune? Who wants to be false fortune?
I'll be false fortune.
Archangel, would you like to be fortune?
Sure.
All right, because it actually may affect you since you're going into the ship. All right, so Archangel, your fortune.
Change my mind.
I'll be false fortune.
All right, who's fortune? Who's false fortune?
I'm fortune. I'm kidding.
All right, you're fortune. Archangel's fortune. False fortune. False fortune is Burgess. Here are the stakes before you roll. Fortune. Oh man, I thought about this, but now I have to think about it again. Okay. God, I'm being a dick today. Fortune. Fortune is there is no RI. There is only a ship computer, so it's literally not a sentient computer that can give you information. That's fortune.
Okay.
So it's like a Siri on your phone.
Word. That's what we were hoping for to begin with. So yeah, I'd like
Right.
that.
False fortune is it's an RI. What's the name of the RI, Drizzle?
Eat Sampras. I don't
Oons?
know if that's
Sampras?
Yeah, is that a real name? I don't know.
I like it,
Sampras
Oons,
is
because it's a
The
good.
tennis player.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Well, Oons is a reference to the former game. I love it. All right, so make thy roll.
He's not using the rubber dice, is he?
It's up to you guys. You guys should police that.
Dun, 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 dun.
73.
Okay.
All right, 73 is the false. Archangel, what we got?
Bless you. Sorry.
Fortune rolls 81.
Ooh, Archangel
nice.
rolls
Alive.
well, y'all. He rolls well. All right. Fortune. It's not an it's not an RI. However, it is Oons. Oons. How do you spell Oons, Drizzle?
UNCE.
That's
UNC?
ONTZ. Isn't that the name
Yeah.
of your little speaker?
Oh,
That's
NTZ.
correct.
I thought it
Oh,
was UNTZ. Are we
Oh.
doing the beats here,
UNTZ.
right?
That's right. Oons, cats, oons, cats, boots.
Boots and cats. Boots and pants.
Cats.
As you
Cats.
say, you see boots and cats written in quotations, pronounced Oons. Everybody wins. Millennials. Anyway. Right. Cherokee Sue, you see that their ship called apparently the Roar, and then it's all hashtags. It's just ROR. You don't know. It's encrypted. Just ROR. There's obviously more of a name.
Okay. So
Does not
does
have
it
an
say
RI.
Dinosaur. It says "I love you" in dinosaur after
No,
that.
no. It says ROR. Clearly, there's something after it, but you don't know what it is.
Oh,
As Alfred comes on, he says, "Their encryption is strong."
It's
feel
They
the
have-
rural juror.
They don't use vowels.
Okay, so they have a strong encryption,
TTRPG.
Alfred, or do you just not want to mess with it?
Guy would say you need physical access. These are probably pirates.
Well, that's fun. I like that. Okay,
However,
so let me ask you.
they are disabled.
okay, go ahead.
It looks like they have cargo.
So the pirates are disabled?
Aw,
Or
poor
the ship-
guys.
I'm so sorry.
That's mean. That's mean.
Thankfully, they're in space. Anyway, all right, on the bridge. God. Get me canceled. Hashtag on the bridge. What are you doing, buddy? I'm looking at you. You know who I'm looking at. Get this.
I'm sorry. I'm trying.
As you're like 10 feet away from Cherokee Sue. Like there's the slow look from you and Josh. As Alfred is like, should I be laughing?
Yeah.
Humans. Go on. What do you do?
I'll just be standing at the bridge. I'm looking at the ship, trying to notice.
Josh says, we've been scanned.
That
Oh,
Cherokee, you can hear this. You're like 10 feet away.
being
so go ahead.
I'm trying to figure out if I would have had. I mean, I've been in a Marine for a very long time. I
Mhm.
would have had experience of pirates, right?
What do you bid?
Let's bid. Well, I'll bid Marine, and just
Bidding Marine. Pirates come in all shapes and colors, just like anyone else. If they're savvy, hey, they would use some form of scanning that wouldn't appear on your sensors. So that would lead Skip to either they're not very good, or maybe it wasn't them who scanned you.
where this ship looks weird. You said there was encryption on their computer.
Yeah.
Josh looks at you. What? I didn't say. Oh, sorry. As he turns back to his console. Cherokee Sue, you and Skip are talking.
If they were good pirates, I've ran across only one or two, but have heard many stories. They would have that encryption, but yet we wouldn't be able to tell that we've been scanned. So either they're just mediocre pirates, or something else is going on here.
I'm going to go with something else is going on here. That just feels like the right math. Me and Alfred are working on a plan to.
Alfred and I.
Yeah, you eat my dick, man.
I don't have a mouth.
You wish. I don't know. I'm not smart enough for this. Like this.
You
is
see,
too,
you see another heart appear. Guy, do
and I just
wish.
give him the
In
other
like
half
like
again.
muted
Yeah.
tones.
Come on, give us the hearts.
Oh,
So-
it happens.
The plan is to access the computer on the ship to figure out what readouts happened right before the ship was no more. So we need to make a mission to the ship. To do that, we have to access the ship directly. That's what Alfred and I were able to. Or I'm sorry, the computer directly. That's what Alfred and I were
Hey,
able
I
to.
am an RI. Cherokee Sue.
We So I feel a spacewalk coming soon in my future. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. You're picking it up. There we go. You smelled when I stepped in.
Cherokee, you see Alice Brick coming up with a cup of coffee filled to the brim. As she's like carefully moving it, the steam's coming up. She's like holding it gingerly as she moves past you. She stops and looks at you.
I just go, "Ah!"
All right, roll me a d6. Tell me if it's a 1.
Okay.
Or you can bid to make
Oh,
her
shit.
spell it.
That's we wouldn't take that.
What did the floor say? 5?
It was a 5.
Do we take the floor or do we take the tray?
Take
It's
the
up to you.
5.
I'm taking the 5. If you're giving me the choice.
All right, so
Yeah,
you
they'll
get a
be-
success. What do you want to happen here as you boof her?
Just like a slight spill.
As she
Like
spills it,
you know,
she spills it on the grate. She looks at you and she kind of like raises it. She arcs an eyebrow. She says, all right. She kind of like chuckles at what you've done. Get you back. And you realize you've started the military thing of tricks
prank war. It's on.
and pranks. As Cherokee Sue, maybe there's a little sweat of excitement. You're like, oh yes, cryo sleep is gonna happen, baby. All right. As Alice walks into the cockpit, presenting a cup of coffee, dun to Josh. Skip, what are you doing?
Do you know, Alfred, can you get me, columns to the captain?
Of course, and
Delby, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I just about have my suit on. We're doing a spacewalk, right?
Oh, that's what I was about to ask you. So I will go get into my spacewalk suit.
You know, Skip, why don't you stay up there? Why don't you stay up there and monitor the situation? Send Brick and Burgess down. I'm already geared up to do a spacewalk. I'm gonna launch ahead. You guys get my 6. Are we getting close?
over. I'm being a dick,
Over.
I'm sorry. Over on the pirate ship. Archangel, you have crawled your way into the hull breach.
Got it.
This ship, to the right, you see the engine room. It's a very simple design. Engine room, there are 4 cryo beds. Forgive me, there were 4 cryo beds. There's now 2. One looks damaged. Archangel, I'll say that you know what a cryo bed looks like. You've been lots of different places. We'll say that you know it.
Seems fair.
Off to the left, so to the right, engine room. To the left, a hallway, the tube of the ship. It looks like there's a couple doors on either side. You're not really sure where they go to. And then probably a bridge of some sort. There are some crates. Large crates. We'll say I'm gonna go English system or Imperial on this. Like 6 feet wide, 4 feet long, 3 feet deep. Big old crates that are lashed to the walls that did not explode out with the decompression. Lights are flickering. Actions on you, Archangel.
Well, I'm not here to raid. I'm actually here to, hopefully, since I noticed the other ship, I actually want to alert the crew. So I'm not trying to sneak, but I do know that, well, let's say not know, but I'm aware of the possibility that they are not yet aware of me and might view me as an intruder. So I want to approach the bridge, but carefully so that they don't, take some weird action as I enter.
How do you do this? There's no atmosphere in here. And no gravity.
I will, since I have, I guess, popped into this room, I would have to sort of hand crawl towards the bridge door.
Okay, what do you bid?
Capable.
Describe this, please.
This is something I've had to do before. Since I have been in many situations with varying gravities. So I just basically rely on muscle memory.
As kind of like the ISS footage, you're able to angle yourself, push off, and very gracefully move down the hallway like a pro going towards the bridge. A couple things you might notice. We'll make you have a reaction roll. This will be action die, so D10,
Okay.
and your wits aspect die. The threshold to see what this is 2. So you want more than 2 successes. 2 would be limbo.
Okay. All right, I got a 6 and a 5. So that sounds like that's 2 successes, right?
1. Oh,
One.
2. 1, 6 and a 5. 2 successes. So limbo. Do you want to do anything to try to add to that?
My threshold to bump that up to another success is 7, right?
8.
Oh, it's 8. That's right.
Or you can do an ability that gives you a bonus success, or you can attempt to do ninja gear that gives you extra dice or proficiencies for rerolls. Although it sounds like rerolls are a little bit weird at this point.
I would say ninja gear might make the most sense.
Okay.
I still don't think I know what my wrist gadget does.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say I will probably leverage my wings.
Do it.
The idea being if I can at least get a little bit of a handhold, then I can just sort of use that as enough momentum to take off with the
Like
wings.
stabilize and such, and it kind of
Right.
allows you to look around. Yep.
Right. Okay. So what do I do there?
So your wings, they have an extra die. What is it?
All I have listed on them is that they have a D8 chaos.
Okay. How many traits do they have on them?
Displacement field.
So that's
So-
1.
1 is the only one I have. Yeah, I think that's all I have, unless
All right.
unless we're also listing the their power function. That's not a trait though, right?
It's up to you. Is it a trait?
I would say almost all of my devices are decomposable. So yeah, probably.
All right. So it has 2 traits. So Drizzle, what's the extra die on it in Ninja Gear that has 2 traits?
That should be D8.
Boom, D8. Well done, Drizzle. You get a
He was like, wait.
Well, Kim was counting up. You're just a slow counter.
Oh, did he?
Kim.
Oh, I didn't look up. Can you get a
yeah.
pip too?
All right. All right. That was a 3.
That's a big 0.
Yep.
How
So I-
badly do you want past limbo? How badly do you want the clean success? Basically, limbo is a yes, you succeed, but situation. Clean
I'm okay.
success is your intention.
I'm okay with that because
All right.
I'm somewhat prepared for this to be an odd encounter.
As Archangel, you're moving through one thing you notice is, we'll call it the cool mint, so everyone understands, the other ship getting rather close. As in, they're not like about to like touch tips or something, but they're much closer. The other thing you notice is this place looks very dirty. You're not really sure what it is that's on the walls and such. It's scuffed up. Think of like a back room, like a loading dock. It does not look very well maintained at all. There's some things glittering in the walls. Not really sure what they could be. Metal. There's something a little bit off here, but it's hard to put your finger on as you're moving forward. What do? You get to a door that is sealed, obviously because there's no atmosphere out here.
Sealed door.
Sealed door.
Can I tell how thick the door is? Any sort of approximation of the composition that will give me an idea?
We bid.
Would my original scans have told me that?
No.
Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna knock on it.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Let's take a 5-minute break. So y'all go pee, get some water, do your things. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Yep. That's a good
Thank you,
stopping
5.
point. All right. Be right
Hey,
back,
everybody.
y'all.
Well, welcome to this week's installment of DreadLore Into Space, where you are a human watching people that are not unhuman necessarily in space. So every week we like to split our segments into multiple segments, and I like it how like I have no notice on some of this stuff, but that's great. I mean, I can do it. Just realizing that maybe I don't have all of my keys in a pod and I'm just sitting here alone on the internet.
Hey,
But
I'm
Into
still here,
Space-
brother.
Oh, good. I hope you're enjoying this week. I had to drag a file in to make it actually happen, which is a little bit helpful. This is DreadLore Into Space. Thank you to our cast members, Bill, Ken, Daniel, Drizzle, and Andrea's not here, JazziCabbage, and Archangel, who was our guest star this week, and doing quite a good job of circulating through. Thanks for the score of all lowercase letters and Mr. Interrupt. Thank you to our Patreon, Tim Roberts, Daniel Hulker, and Nostalgic. Please consider joining our patreon.com/DreadLore, because that would really help us out and stuff. Thank you to Couchfire Media for the art media production, and also thank you to Trois Reblay Productions. That's right, Trois Reblay Productions. I believe that's French for something terrible. But subscribe today, soldier. Subscribe and become a citizen. We'll be back in a few minutes. Thanks.